Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia, and with me today we have Nick.
Ew.
And Brandon.
Hello.
We're here talking about games and things.
Yep. Games and things.
Maybe.
Probably. I guess. I don't know what we're talking about. You guys ready to get into it?
I thought we were talking about games.
Yeah, we're talking about
I
games.
don't know which games.
Forever.
Brandon hasn't put anything on his list. You got a DualShock on there. And the only thing I've played is Legends Arceus. So, I guess...
I don't have a DualShock on there. Why are you lying?
Oh, same thing. DualSense, DualShock.
No.
Yeah.
No, those are actually not the same thing
identical.
at all. They're absolutely
twinsies.
not. Spoken truly like someone who's never played anything on PlayStation 5.
What an X-bot. No.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah, sure.
Talk about that thing you...
I don't have anything really to talk about. Trying to write in.
You literally were just telling a story, and you're like,
"Oh yeah."
You were just telling a story.
And you're like, "Okay, let's start." And then you're like, "I don't have anything to talk about."
Yeah. Okay. So I was mentioning how the more I see of Ghostwire Tokyo, the more I'm just like, okay, it's fine. But they're like kind of keeping everything like. They're holding their cards to their chest and not letting anyone see what's going on. Even the reviewers that were able to put out like previews of the game recently, they had to block out and hide the mission like list because of spoilers. Like they're being that like spoiler, like not spoiling anything about the game, which is a breath of fresh air. It's great. Great. I'm very happy about that. Not spoiling everything for your game in the first like 20 seconds of it being announced is a really good thing to do. However, they're keeping it so vague and so mysterious that the stuff they are showing makes it look so boring and so uninteresting. So it's having like an opposite effect, at least on me, where I'm looking at it and I'm like, so this is what you want to sell me with? Because it's really not. The more you show me of like, I guess the first chapter is what they're saying, and I'm just like, I just don't care. So, more or less, that's where I'm at right now with Ghostwire Tokyo. And I hope that's not where I end up being in the end. But right now I'm just like, yeah, it's whatever. So that was my story.
Oh, okay.
That's really the only thing I had to say. Because like, yeah, you know, sometimes when you see like preview things, like, yeah, they're gonna like be like, oh yeah, I can't talk about this area or whatever. But like, I saw a preview yesterday that was showing like footage of the game, but then like the actual, you know how when you have like mission logs in like RPGs or whatever, and it like appears in the top like left hand or right hand of your screen, and it's like all a list of what to do. They had to blur that specific thing out, and I'm just sitting here like, that's like being very secretive about your game, and it's just really weird.
Yeah.
So, and then the stuff they are showing, it's just like, okay, empty streets and tackling the yokai demon thingies. And it's like, all right, cool, but like, I guess it's all right.
So like street lights.
Yeah.
Walking
Exactly.
down the boulevard.
Yeah. Exactly.
Brandon, did you not?
No, I know the song.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that you knew what was happening there.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
That was the next line. Yes. Street lights, boulevard. Oh. And then you actually say the title of the song, which is Don't Stop Believing. But now that I've explained, yeah, don't start believing. Don't even bother. Don't stop believing. But yeah.
So just a total like side note.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday Night Live just did a skit this week. I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was it funny?
it was kind of so like Andrew Yang was like there. It was like a bunch of friends at like a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew Yang was like, they're talking about like, I don't know, things that they're just like really like enjoying like at the moment. And he's like, oh my God, did you guys hear this like band version of Don't Stop Believing, like marching band? And his friends were like, don't fucking care. And he's like, no, don't worry. He's like, I already got it queued up. And so like, they're like listening to it. And who was I don't remember who the guest host was this week, but she's there and they're just, she's like, oh my God. She's like, this should be in Mario Kart 8. And like when you're
What?
at Rainbow Road, and yeah, I'm not even joking.
What
Like
the
this should
fuck?
be like Mario Kart, like Rainbow Road, like you're just throwing red shells at people, like bam, bam, bam. And it's
Why
like
does-
don't stop believing, and yeah,
Why does it sound like they just like took everything that was currently trending on Twitter and then just fucking shoved it into the
That's
skit?
probably what they do.
probably.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, Mario Kart 8 is kind of a random like throw in there. Yeah, I mean, it really is. The game came out like 10 years ago. And assuming they're talking about the Switch one, like, you know,
They
maybe
didn't say
give them, like,
deluxe,
4.
so
Yeah. No, they did not say
Mhm,
deluxe.
say deluxe.
So yeah, they're probably talking about the original one, like on the Wii U, like that people are throwing red shells.
Which is funny too, because I feel like you could just say Mario Kart, and
Yeah.
somebody would know what you're talking about. Like
That is true, but they specifically said Mario Kart 8. So I don't know.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird.
I mean, I guess when the DLC comes out this week, we can like test it.
I guess Nintendo slid them like $25. Be like, hey, can you put this little earworm in for
Can
Mario
you make
Kart?
this- Can you help make Mario Kart relevant again?
Yeah,
Even though I'm sure Mario Kart's more relevant than Saturday Night Live most times. But
probably.
anyways, I don't remember what you're talking about now, Brandon.
I
Guys,
yes.
Street lights and people.
Yeah. All right, listen, guys. I played Stranger of Paradise, at least the demo that they released.
okay.
Why is this game so bad and also so great at the same time?
What? Okay, what?
The writing is awful. All right, it's awful, but it almost feels like it's so awful that there's no way the people that wrote this didn't just sit down and be like, let's make this as shit as possible. I want all these clips to show up on Reddit and have our game trending. Like, there's no way that they didn't make the game that way on purpose. And like I mentioned before, that clip I was talking about earlier, Nick, before we started. I found the clip and I posted it in the chat if you want to see it for yourself.
Oh, okay. That's not this server. There we go. Yes. Let me see. Let me click this.
It's perfectly cut, and it's also it's like, all right. So to explain it to the listeners.
So it's this big old bony boy. And he doesn't have a face, but he has purple smoke coming out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like introducing himself to like some pretty generic Final Fantasy music. And then Jack is gonna just be like, I don't give a fuck you, and then like goes just to punch him in the face.
But to be fair, that's how I feel every time I watch like a Final Fantasy cutscene, because they're all like, "Hello, I am."
Well, maybe
like,
Jack is supposed to be the player.
Yeah. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Boom, die. Get out of here. Shut the fuck
punch in
up.
the face is funny because it's like you got a sword, my dude.
He has lots of things depending on what class he is, but
Maybe a gun.
He also apparently has that much hatred for that stupid skeleton that he wants to punch it in the face. Probably because, you know what, this is probably like the end of a 30-minute cutscene. Like, he's probably been talking for the last 29 minutes, and we just saw the last 30 seconds.
Yes.
Dude's monologuing, and he's just like, my name is... The Jack just jumps in the air and goes to punch him and screams, I don't give a fuck who you are.
And I hope the ultimate twist is that punch to the face is like a one-hit KO, and there's actually no boss battle. It's just at the end.
So I was watching reviews, because I really wanted to get this before I knew that this is an Epic Game Store only game, and I can't actually pay for it with my Steam credit. So,
Stranger of Paradise is only on Epic Game?
Yeah, it's only on Epic Game Store.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, that sucks. And one of the reviews I was watching, and the guy was like, all right, so like, I've recreating the suplexing of a train. I've destroyed endangered wildlife. I've had a main character that literally gives less of a fuck about the story than I do, all in like the first 2 hours of this game. And I'm just like, yes. I'm okay with this. And then you told me the meme that you were talking about where it's like gonna sell 3 trillion copies.
A cultural reset. And like, because the first meme I saw, it was like Metacritic score 101. Everybody's like, "Whoa, ain't no way!" And I was like, "Wonderful."
Yeah, I don't know. Everything about this game feels like a meme because like it releases Friday, but even if you just buy the standard edition, you get to play it 72 hours early. So it released today actually. So I'm just like, why? It's not even pre-ordering. It's just you purchase the game and you have it now even though it releases Friday.
Well, I mean, that would still be pre-ordering, really, because the game isn't out yet, technically.
Well, is it like physical is Friday and today is digital?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't even know if there is a physical version of this. I'm sure there is, but like,
Maybe.
Jesus Christ, this game is just so weird in every way, shape, and form. Because you know what this game is, right, Nick?
Is
Do you know any
Final Fantasy?
Well, no, not even that. But do you know what this game actually is when it comes to Final Fantasy?
It's supposed to be a I don't want to say remake, but isn't it supposed to be like a coming? Not
No, it's a
coming of age?
remake of Final Fantasy 1. This is a remake
No,
of Final Fantasy 1.
It's not a remake of Final Fantasy 1, but I think it's supposed to show how like the first villain came to be.
So this game takes place during Final Fantasy 1, and these characters that are now given names and stuff, essentially, I mean, obviously there were names in the original as well, and also Garland and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but these aren't the 4 Warriors of Light.
No, they're not, but they are fighting the same person. You also are learning the story of Garland, which part of me is like, man, I really want Jack just to be Garland in the end. Like you following after Garland wasn't true, and it's just Jack at the end puts on the armor. It's just like, fuck you guys. I want that. I want that so bad.
Personally, I really want this game to be like at least enjoyable because
It's
like
good. Of everything I've seen, it's really good. Like the gameplay wise, everything I've heard about
that original demo that they put out during E3 sucked.
Yeah, I was playing the new demo before we started, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually a lot of fun."
Oh, I can download it now.
Yeah, you can download the
Maybe
demo.
I-
Also,
I might do it now and retry it because I remember the original demo was like just not good.
mm-hmm.
So maybe because like in terms of if you've ever played Final Fantasy 1, you know it's the most like I don't want to say bland because it's not that it's bland, but like in terms of like white paint of RPGs, like it's just that it just exists. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just there. And I feel like maybe for the time it was crazy good, but like when you have obviously a lot more to compare to it now, you're just like, yep, that was a game that I played. This coming out and it kind of expanding upon maybe what they wanted to show for the beginning stages of Final Fantasy is really cool. So I really wanted to try it out. But
yeah, I I feel you.
Final Fantasy 1 is boring.
yeah, it's literally just like
It's really bad.
I don't think it's really bad. It's just it is what it is.
Better than 3.
Definitely better than 3. But like that's a very low bar.
Yes, Brandon, do not be
dare.
oppositional defiant right now.
Wait. When you say 3, you don't mean the Super Nintendo.
No.
Wait,
You know
no.
what we mean when we say 3.
Brandon.
We mean like
Brandon, wait. I need
Yes.
I need to stop right here. It
Okay.
is 2022.
Yes.
When somebody says Final Fantasy 3,
Mhm.
they mean Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, but
There
I
is-
have Final
there is
Fantasy
no-
3 sitting on my shelf,
There is no
and
more.
it's actually 6.
There is no more American 3, whatever. No, if I say 3, I mean 3. If I say 6, I mean 6.
Okay. That's fair. I understand.
do we need to write it in the show notes so you remember?
Those days are done. Put it to bed.
Okay, fine,
Yeah.
fine.
Just waiting for Brandon to be like, but actually. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I also played Castle Crashers all the way to completion in one sitting.
Okay.
My friend wanted okay, so our stream on Saturday was awful. It was supposed to be Borderlands Game of the Year edition.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying
And
that.
it was so incredibly bad. The game was running totally fine, perfectly fine for me, and then my friend tells me, "Shit, I don't know what's going on. Like my frame rate, it just dropped to like 1, and I can't move." And I'm like, "That's weird." So he goes and resets his game, and then I have the same bug happen, but when I do the reset, it doesn't fix it at all. And then our friend couldn't connect, and then if anyone was playing on a higher refresh rate than anyone else in the room, the game would stutter for everyone in the room, and it was a fucking mess.
Who made that game? Nintendo?
Gearbox. Just as bad, I promise.
Gearbox.
Yeah.
Gearbox. Anyways.
Yes.
You gonna tell us about Castle Crashers?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have played Castle Crashers, right?
Yeah,
No.
I have.
Wait, did you say no, Mike?
Yeah. No, I said no.
What? Okay, so Castle Crashers is actually probably one of the better beat 'em up games, like side-scrolling beat 'em ups. Think of something like Turtles in Time, TMNT games, the Dragon. Why can't I think the name of this?
Dogma.
No. Double Dragon, or something like
Dragon Quest.
Final
Frame.
Final Fight.
Final Fight. We just talking about Final Fantasy.
Final Fight, not Fantasy.
Which Final
Anyway.
Fantasy? Final Fantasy 3?
Right, so anyway, moving on from that. But yeah, this game's made by a lot of the people that worked at Newgrounds at the time.
Okay.
And it has a lot of... Yeah, exactly. It's just a really, really good multiplayer beat-em-up game. Originally released on Xbox 360, I believe, and PlayStation 3. And my buddy saw that it was something that we could play because of how awful Borderlands went for us. So since 3 of us already had a copy, my buddy was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll just buy you a copy." So he buys him a copy, and then we all sit down and play from start to finish the game. My friend at one point had a really big issue though, and the game like completely crashed out for him, and he lost all of his saves. Every single character was deleted, and I was just like, "Holy shit, that sucks." So then he went and had to change his values and everything manually, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, it fucking sucks. So we even had problems with that. But when we weren't having problems, the game was a lot of fun to play through. I hadn't played it in quite a number of years, probably like 5 or 6 years since I've played it last. And I just really forgot how good of a game it is. And yeah, I played using the Alien Hominid character. If any of you have ever played the old Flash game, Alien Hominid, you can unlock him as a character.
Fun fact, that was my first digitally downloaded game.
It's a great game.
On Xbox 360.
That's a great fucking game. It's a good choice. My first one was Geometry Wars.
That was my second. So
good choice. Also good choice. What was your first 360 game? Like physical?
Oh, Halo 3.
Oh, okay. Cool. I think mine was Perfect Dark Zero. Because I got the console when it first released, so yeah.
I have Alien Hominid on my GameCube.
That's a great game. Have you ever played it, or do you just...
I played a bit of it. I kept on hearing how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I was like...
It's a very difficult game, but it's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, I didn't play too much of it. And that's also kind of one of the reasons why whenever we think about things like Cuphead, like that is one of the points of reference that I have for I will not like Cuphead. So...
Funny enough, you mentioned that my friend Nick actually just platinumed Cuphead.
Oh, good
Cuphead's so good. Mm-hmm. I actually think Cuphead's really not that difficult, and Mike, you'd be fine.
I know. I mean, I probably would. I just don't feel like trying to see if I would like it or not. So I'm just leaving it as...
How do you feel about games like Contra?
Don't like it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I understand then. What about... You ever play Gunstar Heroes?
You ever play Final Fantasy 3?
No!
Oh my god. Fuck Final Fantasy 3. I knew it was just like Cuphead. Looks exactly the same. Gunstar Heroes. No, I never played that either.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good game.
Oh, no, I don't disagree. Like, I'm sure that people who like that type of game, like, I'm sure it's great. I'm not saying anything about the quality of the game. It's just, it's one of those games I look at and I say, this game is not for me. Which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with disliking games that, like, you know you're not going to like. Like, I think that game is incredible looking, and like it looks like it is a fun game for people who like to play those games. I just know that it's a game that does not like me. So that's all.
Okay.
I got no hatred towards Cuphead. Love it. I want to watch the thing on Netflix too. I just have not yet.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I guess moving on from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was. We played through the whole thing in about 6 hours, so it's not that long of a game, Castle Crashers. But it is a lot of fun, and we did have, everyone playing. So we had all 4 players at once going. So I think it's a little bit easier if you have help, but I think the enemies also have a higher amount of health if you have more than like 1 or 2 players. So there's that. But yeah, just in general, if you've never played Castle Crashers, I don't think that game's very difficult. And I think that's a game you should definitely check out. And I know it's on Switch, I think. So it might be worth checking out if you never have.
I'm pretty sure.
And other than that, I didn't really play anything.
All right.
So there's that.
I guess between me and Nick, neither of us have anything like super exciting to talk about. So I'll talk about. I've just been like going through and like playing through Pokemon Legends Arceus, like the new DLC stuff. Not like, I mean, obviously I'm through like the meat of that game, and I'm not like shiny hunting, so I'm not like going out and playing crazy stuff. But so I added like a bunch of new. I think we talked about half of it before a couple weeks ago. So like they added a bunch of new missions with the DLC update, and one of like half of them are like about the mass outbreaks, which are pretty interesting, especially if you're into like shiny hunting. And I kind of wish they were out before like I finished the game, because it would have made finishing like the game a lot easier, because you can catch a lot more Pokemon that are generally not that common, which is nice. But the other half of it is like all battle stuff. So that's I'm already done with the mass outbreak stuff, so I've been working on the battle stuff because I have some interesting new modes here. The big thing is it's called the Trial of Solidarity, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And that's what a majority of the remaining missions are. It's an interesting concept because they're basically like you pick one Pokemon, and we'll just say like, what's one that I did? Roselia. We'll start there. So like, all right, Roselia, and so you throw her in. I don't know if you know it. She's like this, like lady-looking rose, like Pokemon, and then they throw out one Pokemon against you, and it's always the same one. So it's just like you just have to like get your Roselia like ready to beat it, and then so it's like in that case it's like whatever the bird is, like a Star Raptor, I think is what it is. One of those bird form. So you know that bird's gonna cut the shit out of you. So it's like you just gotta like get it leveled up and get it to the right like place where it can like beat that particular Pokemon. Like the Magikarp one's another mission, and Magikarp, as you know, has no like moves that can do damage. All it can do is splash. And so they pitch you against an Electrode whose only move is self-destruct. So you just have to get a Magikarp that can survive self-destruct twice. So I don't know, it's interesting. Some of the stuff is a little bit more strategic. Like one of them, I think it's like Mr. Mime. They pitch you against the Pokemon where like you have to literally steal. Oh no, is it Eevee? I don't know. One of the Pokemon with Mimic. You have to like steal its moves so you can actually like damage it, because otherwise you can't. And I was like, oh, these are kind of interesting ideas. So I don't know. I've gone through most of them, and then you unlock more. And then they did this other mode that they put into it, which I actually thought was kind of interesting. It's kind of like this endless battling mode where it's like, what's it called? Like Eternal something? I don't know. But it's like when you go back to your like bedroom, then like Arceus like calls you on your cell phone. And it's like, hey dude, you want to battle? And you're like, sure. Yeah. You up? You want to battle? And so then like you go to this like arena where it's like it's interesting. You bring your team of Pokemon with you, and he's like, all right, so here's your options, and he gives you 3 things to pick from. And they're like generally kind of cryptic. They're like, would you rather battle a bug Pokemon, a male Pokemon, or a weirdly shaped Pokemon? And so you're like, oh, I will take a bug Pokemon. And then obviously, like bug Pokemon is obvious. Male Pokemon is like Pokemon that are generally like set to that form, like specifically like what is it, like Curlia, I think. It's like a male only Pokemon. Or like if you do like the oddly shaped Pokemon, it's like unknown. Right? I think there's another one. But it's like weird shit like that. But then every once in a while it'd be like, would you like to fight like, I don't know, a rock Pokemon, a female Pokemon, or the primordial chaos? And you're like,
What?
Yeah. That's like Giratina. And so like these are all like level like 80 Pokemon, and they go up to level 100 as like you progress through. If you make it to the 50th battle, you fight Arceus. And just for like fighting, it just gives you a shit ton of like EXP like items, like XP like candies and like rare candies and things like that. And every battle you fight has like a certain amount of points attributed to it. So it's like if you beat the rock Pokemon, you get like 3 points. But if you beat the primordial chaos, you'll get like 15 points. And then you can like, there's like different things you can spend them on. Like you could spend points to get double points by losing like a portion of your HP. Be like sacrifice HP to get double points. You can do like full HP, like refill, or like you can get all your PP back for your team. But like it's at the expense of like lots of points, and every time you do it, it becomes like another like exponentially like more expensive. So like the first time you like restore the HP of a teammate, it's like 10 points, but then if you do it again, it's 20, 30, 40, 50. It just keeps going up. So it's interesting. Like it's actually like kind of like a fun battle thing. It takes a while to get through. If you get through 50, you get to fight Arceus. You actually get to like fight Arceus instead of like the fight that you do to like complete the game, fight Arceus. And then you get like an extra stamp on your save file, which is so exciting.
Ooh,
I know.
nice.
Mm-hmm. But it's actually, I'm kind of glad they fleshed out like the battling ideas in this game a little bit more, because I mean, it is something the game was lacking. Does it necessarily make up for like no competitive Pokemon for people? I doubt it. But for me, who doesn't play like against other people, I'm fine with it. It's interesting. It has some interesting ideas, I think. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've been really doing. I also watched a TV show too.
What did you watch?
I watched the new season of Upload. I think we talked about the first season when it came out. I don't know if you guys remember this, because the first season came out like as the pandemic started in like early 2020.
Yeah, I can't remember if
it's a really interesting concept of show. Like I like the idea. I think it's from like some of the people who worked on like I think it was the Office and Parks and Rec. But it's like a futuristic kind of like dystopia kind of thing where it's basically like before you die, if you know you're gonna die, you can choose to like upload into this like other universe, like I don't know, like think like alternate life kind of thing, where you could live with all these other like digital like avatars of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the premise of the story. Like this guy, like there is like an underlying like conspiracy story because the guy's like self-driving vehicle like crashed into this like dump truck and he died. But then it's like, you know, maybe they were trying to kill him because he was working on this project. And so you got all that. But it is a dark comedy. Like it's a very dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of funny shit that's going. Like this, one of the episodes this season, they were playing this game called like they called it Teamus.
Okay.
Or no, it was Tennis. Tennis.
Okay.
So it's like tennis, except you score points by hitting the other person in the dick. Like
Oh, okay.
tennis ball.
Penis.
Yeah,
get it.
tennis. Yes. So yeah, it walks this like weird line where it's like conspiracy theories about elections to like tennis. So like it plays like jump rope between like very serious topics and like very comically like out there
weird
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they have like all these like fake corporations, which just like kill me because they're like Oscar Mayer Intel and like
That's
all these
incredible.
like weird mergers. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you know, they're bringing like clone bodies from like Oscar Mayer Intel, and you're like, oh, I can kind of see that actually. That's kind of a weird like dystopia. Yeah, so it's really funny. Like they did 10 episodes in the first season and 7 in the second, and they're like 20 to 30-minute episodes. So not terribly long to get through if it's something you want to watch. It's Amazon Prime, so you can find it. So I mean, a lot of people have that because you know it's Amazon. But yeah, no, it's really funny. There's a really funny like joke too, which actually I think you would appreciate, Brandon.
Okay.
because they're going through this warehouse, and it's like of all these these bodies that are trying to they're trying to restore these clone bodies, because the idea is maybe theoretically at some point you could re-download into a restored clone of yourself.
Okay.
So they're in this warehouse, and they're these people are oh, fuck the rich people, we're gonna destroy all these clones. And the one girl's but you don't even know who they are, they might be good people, and they're they're not. So she pulls this cord out of this one, and then she feels bad and puts it back in, and she looks on the name, and it's Jake Paul, and she's no.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a really funny. It's so weird to explain, because I could literally say this show is one of the darkest, but also one of the cutest and funniest shows I've ever seen. It's all over the spectrum, and I genuinely enjoyed it. So if you're just looking for something kind of fun and dark to watch, I mean, it's kind of Black Mirror-esque, I guess, in some ways. Maybe Black Mirror is definitely more straight up satirical dark, whereas this one definitely is more comedy dark. But I mean, they definitely kind of are in that same wavelength. So I mean, if you're looking for something kind of just funny to sit back and watch, yeah, I recommend it. Second season just came out, long overdue. If you watched the first season, you probably even forgot the show existed. So yeah, go check it out. And that's all I have. I have nothing else.
Okay.
So it's up to you to talk about DualSense controllers.
Yeah, let's see.
So I bought a new DualSense controller. I think I mentioned this a while ago when I was talking about Returnal, that one of my DualSense controllers was kind of finicky.
Oh yeah, you're talking about you didn't even realize you knew it was broken until I think it was Returnal. Yeah.
So I traded that one in, and the fucking bozos at GameStop didn't have a cable to test it, so they're all right, we'll just trade it in, I guess. And I bought the blue one. It's very nice. But the reason I write this down and bring it up, because it's a controller that we've talked about many times.
Yeah.
How much money do you think you get as a trade-in for a DualSense controller?
35.
Wow. In unison, too. That's very good.
Is that how much it was?
No, you'd both be about $10 off. It's $25.
What? Holy
$25.
shit!
Yeah.
That's
no
even
wonder
more
Reggie
ridiculous.
Left that company.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. Me and Mike were on sync, and I think you and I were thinking of past GameStop, what would have been acceptable, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, I worked there for 10 years. I knew what they used to give to controllers. And especially new controllers too. This is current system, not
you get less
system.
than
35. 35 would be realistically good.
You get less than what, 40%?
Well, so $25 is literally 25% of the value, because a brand new DualSense controller is $75.
Oh, I thought they were 80.
No, they're $75.
Okay, all right.
So, I still ended up paying $50 plus tax.
Jesus Christ.
Which I was whatever.
I mean, I'm still right. You do get less than 40%, but holy shit.
Yeah, but no, when he came back and rang it up and it was yep, it was only $25 for that. I was are you shitting my dick? What? 20 this is, first off, let alone the fact that it's a brand new controller for a new system. It's a brand new controller for a new system that you don't always have the accessories in for, especially used.
Yeah, you don't even have the console for it.
Hey, they turned around and sold it for
well, actually,
65.
let's go on GameStop's website real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I do have to say though, as someone who used to work at GameStop, if someone came in to trade in a controller to get another controller, that would be the reddest fucking flag. Be
oh
this
yeah,
controller's so broken.
You know what though? I didn't do it because it was broken. I did it because I wanted just the newer color, and I explained that to him. Because he was like, "Why are you doing this?" I was oh, it's a new color. So pre-owned.
You said it like a British guy. New color, isn't it? It's just
Did you hear the U? Cologne.
Isn't it? So a pre-owned white DualSense controller, which is what I traded in, sells for $60. So I feel like GameStop could have afforded to give me at least $40 for it.
Yeah, good.
I feel like 35 was the bare minimum you should have gotten.
Yeah, 35 probably is spot on. 40 being the generous the generous option, and then
Like
obviously,
if I ran GameStop and had to be a piece of shit, it would be 35. Like that's what I'm thinking.
if
right
I
now.
ran GameStop and was being a piece of shit, I would just be like, "Oh, you want to trade in that DualSense? I'll give you a swift kick in the balls for it." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I guess so."
I did really like. I don't know if you guys saw like Reggie talking about why I left GameStop this week.
Yeah, no, what he's
Yeah,
saying.
He was just like, yeah, he's like, they asked me to come on, and he's like, as you all know, he's like, I have all this experience, on all different aspects of like gaming, like retail and like as a vendor and like as a consumer. He's like, when they brought me onto the board, they thought I had a lot to bring to the table, and like, he's like, my one condition is like when they start working on the restructuring plan, he's like, I want to be a part of it, I want to have a say in it, and like help, take this company in a meaningful direction. But he's like, then once there was this whole switch up, and the company started going in a different direction with like a different like major shareholder.
Aren't they
They're
doing like NFT shit or planning on it?
I think there was something about that coming. I don't think they were like really confirmed,
I know
but I think there was like
Funko Pop
rumors.
just fucking did it, and I'm just like, oh no, oh no, no, no.
Yeah, but basically GameStop was like, thanks, but no thanks, Reggie. So Reggie's like, all right, well then, if I'm not going to be able to like help you guys make this company better, then he's like, I'm not staying here. So he's like, I'm leaving.
Reggie was like, "You think I'm doing this for money?
Yeah.
I think you have me fucking confused.
You got me fucked up, man.
Yeah, you got me fucked up. I ain't doing this for the money. I was bored. I ran Nintendo. You think I want this for the money? No, this is pleasure. This is strictly for pleasure."
He's like, I just want to watch you guys squirm.
Yeah.
That'd be
My
fun.
man got in, got his stocks, dumped it, and got out.
Reggie's
gets
actually the
stocks.
one that was running the whole Wall Street bets thing.
Yeah.
It was all Reggie. You heard it here first.
I mean, if that was like masterclass, like
Honestly, genius.
Yeah, just wonderful. But yeah, so I did that this past week, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a thing. I didn't really play much of anything this weekend. Was kind of busy.
Yeah.
I did get a puppy this weekend.
another one.
Yeah.
You just
Ooh.
borrowed it from someone.
Well, so the puppy that I got 2 years ago lives with my parents.
So you have
So-
your own.
So now, well, my girlfriend, when she moved in, brought her puppy, which was a corgi.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what we need? Another motherfucking dog in this bitch. And then
You did.
And then she showed me, she was like, hey, look at this dog. And I was like, yo. And I...
You mean our dog?
You know what's funny? I put in an adoption thing,
Mhm.
kind of like half serious about it, because like, not that I wasn't gonna say yes if they picked me, because I was like,
Mhm.
all right, well, if I'm saying, me putting in an application is being like, yes, I am ready and willing to take care of an animal.
Mhm.
But like when I was adopting Stella 2 years ago, it
Mhm.
was just really difficult to get a dog. Like I probably filled out between 5 to 10 applications. Now, mind you, this was also pre-pandemic too.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't like, I know there was like a rush on dog adoptions during the pandemic, but this was like prior to COVID even being a thought. So then I was like, well, I'll put the application in, but I guarantee you I'm not going to get this. And then like 10 minutes later, they sent me a thing like, hey, can you be at PetSmart tomorrow at like 10:30? I was like, huh? Sure, yeah. No problem, boss, gotcha. And then, yeah, got the dog.
Nice.
So, I got 2 puppies now.
Nice.
2 puppy house.
Pet them both at the same
I do.
time.
I
Dual
do.
wield.
Well, the puppy is like 5 pounds, and I can just be like, whoop, and pick her right up. And then pet the other dog. And it's just dual.
No, not yeet.
Don't yeet the dog. No, you're not supposed to yeet the dog. But it's just dual petting. I'm like, hell yeah. I look at my left hand, I'm petting the dog. Look at my right hand, petting the dog. It's great.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. I would recommend it.
Hmm.
But as for anything else, really, not much going on. I'm planning on getting my Sonic the Hedgehog 2 tickets tonight, so I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
When I see that.
Yeah.
That's in like 2 weeks, though.
I'm planning on watching Spider-Man today or tomorrow or sometime soon.
Because you haven't seen it yet, right?
Correct, I haven't.
Have you? I mean, you know things
I've
about
avoided pretty much everything. So
Wait,
just
do you
leave
not-
it at that. I know the supposed stuff. I don't know any of the actual stuff. All right, I'll just leave it at that.
On their official channels, they
I have
Oh
not
my
looked at them.
God.
Yes, I've also not looked at any upcoming Marvel things
You're
other
a
than
god.
Moon Knight because I knew that they probably wouldn't have anything to do with Spider-Man in the
You're
trailer for
you're
Moon Knight.
you're a god. Yeah, no, there's no Spider-Man in Moon Knight.
Well, I
Unless they
figured as
do
much.
unless they do Arachnite, in which case I'd be like, I don't know how you guys are just catering to all of my beliefs in one go. But like fucking go for it. But yeah, so actually that comes out we have 16 days away from that. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, when I saw, so apparently the Blu-ray leaked online, so then Disney was just like, well, why don't we just start selling it now? When it was going to be like next week, they were going to
Yeah.
start selling it. So like it leaked online. So they did the smart move, and they were like, how about we just put it up where people can rent it and or buy it legally now as well?
Yeah.
And then wow, who would have guessed that if you do that, people will actually pay money for it instead of going the illegal route? Oh my god!
It's crazy.
Granted, I mean, I didn't have to buy it either way, not because of illegal, but because I share a
Not because of
Movies
illegal.
Anywhere. I share a Movies Anywhere account with my
Mhm.
friend, and he purchased it already. So
It's not illegal.
I mean, it isn't.
Nothing's illegal until you get caught.
That's true.
That's the thing. It's like, there is like a definite like link between like ease of purchasing something and piracy.
Yep.
Like the easier that something is to purchase, the less people pirate it.
Correct.
And I don't understand why some companies don't understand that.
Especially when like something leaks, like straight up leaks, like be it a movie or a game or whatever, and then they're like, "Oh my god, why is the piracy for this game that hasn't released yet? Why is it through the roof?" I don't know. Why don't you just release the fucking game?
Yeah,
Put it
or even like
out.
random things like with Game of Thrones, it was like what certain regions were like years behind, and so like it would just like pirate like crazy over there. It's like,
Yeah.
you'll wonder why, because people want to watch what's new and not like
yeah, that was
shit you're
like-
shoving out like 2 years later.
Mhm.
I think last week, Peacemaker just came out in the UK, and like the show's been done for well over a month.
I haven't watched that yet. I really want to see that too.
It's good. It's very good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, no, I don't really have much else going on in my neighborhood.
So you guys
Yep.
ready to do news?
Sure.
All right, let's do news.
News.
All right, there's a state of play. As we
There was a
discussed
state of
last week,
play.
but I would tell you what actually was in it.
PlayStation State of
And neither of you
Play,
watched it?
everything. I watched it while it was airing, but I just don't remember anything.
We got.
Brandon, I figured
things.
Brandon gave me all the highlights on our conversation.
Yep.
So I
More
was
or
just
less,
like,
yeah.
there's nothing to bother watching.
Yeah, nothing new and exciting really got it. And the thing I'm most excited for is the Returnal DLC.
Yeah, and that comes out in like a few days.
Yeah, like that's really cool. That game deserves more love,
It sure
and it's
does.
free. So I'm all for that shit.
I was like, "Hello, my friend. Would you like to stream Returnal next week?" And he's like, "Oh hell yeah! Here's a month of PS Plus." And I was like, "Yes!" So the things I didn't mention, right, was there is a totally not, but probably might as well just be called Final Fantasy Tactics game, also made by Square Enix. It's called the Diofield Chronicles or something
Huh.
like that, and it just looks like Final Fantasy Tactics,
It does.
like quite literally. So it's like, okay. And then the other thing, which may be a massive clusterfuck, but I'm kind of here for it, is the Gundam Evolution. It looks so bad, but I really want to play it. Have you seen it, Nick?
Yeah. So, no, I watched the whole state of
It's
play.
like Titanfall, but with Gundams.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was kind of like, okay, this might not be terrible.
I mean, it looked cool. It's 6v6 Gundam fighting, so like that's really awesome.
Yeah.
But like I also don't expect it to be good.
Yeah,
At the same time.
same.
Like even like one of my most favorite IPs existing in this state of play, and I'm not even too excited for it because of like the form that game takes. So like I
the
don't know.
Gundam?
No, not Gundam for like JoJo.
Oh, wait, JoJo's one of your most favorite IPs?
I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
More than me. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, no, not more than you. I just love it.
But no, wait, have you ever played that game?
I haven't played it, but I've seen what it is. It's just the same like bullshit 3D fighters that they always put out for like anime games.
Yeah, but this one released during the PlayStation 3, and it's actually pretty good. I own the PlayStation 3 version.
Yeah.
So, like, this is before they started just being like, all right, just shit out a 3D fighter. So, like, and especially since JoJo wasn't popular at the time that, like, this game came out initially during the PlayStation 3. So, like, it hadn't reached the meme status in America and all that stuff. And it just kind of released on PlayStation 3, and people are like, what the fuck is this? Especially since I think we had like 2 seasons or 1 season at the time, and this has like all the way up to part fucking 8. Everyone was like, the fuck is this, more or less, when it released in America. So there's that. So I think it releasing now is actually, it's a really good game, first and foremost. And second of all, it has so much shit in it. Like, there's like 50 plus characters, and there's like a full story mode that goes through the story of each part. And the story mode's actually really good. There's like a big online community, or there was when it still could be played. And I firmly believe that Part 9's character will be announced in this game, because they announced Part 8's character in it when it released on the PlayStation 3.
Is there gonna be a Part 9?
Yeah, it was announced like last year.
Oh, nice.
Iraqi was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a break because I've been making this for 12 years. PRP.
That's fair.
And when I say making this for 12 years, I don't mean JoJo. I mean that one part of JoJo.
Oh, yeah.
Because Part 8 was like nearly 12 years old. Not really. It was very long, though. He took so long to make Part 8. When did that originally release? Hold on. 2011. It was almost 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right. Okay. So, yeah. But one of the really interesting things from what people noticed about the video for the All-Stars Battle is they're using the anime voice actors now. And the names.
Oh, good.
So there's that.
Maybe I will get it then.
And like, it's actually kind of funny because some of the names they had in this game, because they couldn't, license them out, were so fucked up when it originally released. I'll have to get you a list because there's some really good ones. But no, yeah, this game looks good. I'm very excited for it. But I think the most interesting thing about this game that a lot of people didn't talk about is this is releasing on everything.
Oh yeah, it is coming out on everything.
Even the Switch.
Yeah.
So like when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And Steam. So there's that. Then we had a new Valkyrie profile game.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least one that takes place in the same universe. And it's like, that's neat. We had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. That's cool. They're doing the collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. They showed more Forspoken, and honestly, it's starting to look better. But I still have my reservations about the game. I'm just kind of
Well, they just get delayed till October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to see more on it though, but it's starting to look better now.
Yeah.
They showed more Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise, which you've already talked about, and then announced a demo, which then released later that day.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a bit more Ghostwire Tokyo, and man, I just really want that game to be good, but the more, like I said, that they show, the less I give a shit about it. And then the biggest disappointment of this entire thing, which I didn't even bring up to you guys because it was such a disappointment, is they announced a new dinosaur game made by Capcom, and it wasn't Dino Crisis 4.
What
So
is
everyone's
it?
like,
Prime
it's
something.
called Exoprimal, and it basically looks like what was that really shitty EA game that didn't even last a year?
Dead Space.
Star Wars. Hey.
Well, we'll talk about Dead Space because I've been looking at the new videos of that, so Mike might not be wrong about that. But no, the one with mech suits that could fly and that was like really bad. It was online, always multiplayer game.
Titanfall 1.
SimCity?
Jesus Christ, you guys, you aren't even trying.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Brandon. Mech suits that can fly?
Sim Ant.
Guys, you're joking, right? You guys forgot about this shit show? Was it
You
that
didn't remember
unmemorable?
it. You're the one asking us.
Yeah, what game is it?
I don't know.
Can you tell us anything more about it?
All right, hold on. Let me go. So give
They
me
were
give
gonna
me
do a rebirth of it, but then they decided against
Anthem.
it. There you go. This looks like Anthem.
Oh,
This looks like Anthem against dinosaurs.
Okay.
It looks really bad, like really bad, and like the focus of the trailer almost seemed like, hey, check out all these dinosaurs. Also, this is a games as a service game, and they made it very clear, and it just looked like Anthem. And yeah, it is not interesting at all. So there's that. I literally was sitting here and I was like, a ooh ooh
E. Ooh.
I was trying to figure out the name of the game and I was like going over in my head and I was like, I just can't. I don't know.
I don't think your description would have ever had me land on Anthem, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You should have said BioWare.
Yeah, that would have if you said BioWare, it probably would have gotten there.
You know
I
what?
didn't know that Anthem had anything to do with neck suits flying or whatever. Was the
Wait, really?
description. No, I didn't.
Did you know nothing about Anthem at all?
Only what they showed at E3. I don't remember.
They literally showed mech suits flying at E3, and that's all they showed. Yeah, just the state of play was good. It had some good things to show off, but like the highlights were the ones I mentioned in the chat, and it had its 20 minutes and it was done, and it was like, okay, that's fine. So
It sounds like that's all it needed.
yeah, and I mean they made use of their time, and then they were like, all right, we're gonna fuck off now, bye, and then they did.
Yeah.
But there's been some things I've been seeing which kind of, because a lot of people are like, the things that they're showing are like the most interesting things that Sony will have this year, and I'm just sitting here like, that is a bad sign, and other people are saying the same thing in the industry, and I'm like, I hope that's not the case, because they really have not been showing out this year at all.
Or last year or the year before, but
yes. Well, the only reason people can't hate Sony is because they can't get a hold of the console, so they can be like, wow, these games suck.
Yeah.
So, they're gonna just like, yeah, I can't wait to get a PlayStation 5. Oh boy, when they get one, they're gonna be like, why the fuck did I want this?
Yeah. And I still think there's no reason to buy that system yet, really. So
No, I think there's more of a reason to buy an Xbox Series X than there is a PS5 at this current moment in time. That's just my thoughts, though.
I'm shaking my head in agreement.
No, I thought you were saying at me. Like
I'm going in a diagonal. I don't know what it means.
I mean, like, okay, so here's the thing. Like, PlayStation 5 is releasing games that are, like, PS5 and PS4 backwards compatible, and, like, that's all they're releasing.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And, like, a lot of people are like, oh, man, I really want to play this game on PS5. And it's like, why? You just play the same fucking game on your PS4. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah. But like we said before, too, they also don't have much incentive to put out big things because nobody can buy the system. Like, it's selling out. So it's not like they have to be like, hey, let me get out all these sweet games to, get people to buy more of the system that they can't buy.
Yeah, and I'm so afraid what's going to happen is we're not going to start getting, like, any games that actually make use of the console until, like, after the first iteration of the console is completely obsolete and it doesn't matter anymore. And I'm pretty sure that's the route we're going to be going very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if they release a new, like a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yes,
at
exactly.
The point before people can actually get the PlayStation 5.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm expecting to happen.
There will be
then, I'm telling you, I think it's going to happen.
Good. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
And I'm kind of annoyed by it at this point.
It would not surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
What about Tiny Tina?
I wrote that down.
What about it?
So it's a very small thing. But
Okay.
I felt it was worth mentioning. So remember how Borderlands 3, they were like, hey, we're not going to do crossplay because Sony's way too fucking expensive and we're not doing it. Tiny Tina's Wonder Worlds or Wonderlands or whatever the fuck it's called is cross-platform with everything. So,
yep, I saw that.
4 or 5 PC, Xbox.
I saw that and I was like, huh, alright.
Yeah. So
I think that's good though, because I don't know if they can actually make games on PC anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
GameStop revealed their Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin pre-order bonus. What do you think it is?
I don't know. What is it?
If you had a guess,
for trading credit for a controller.
No. No.
Is it a hat? Is that the one we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about?
It's a baseball cap with the game's logo on the front.
Yo, is it the school shooter hat I've been seeing trending?
Is it this one? Hold on.
Let me
I figured
see.
it'd be like an NFT.
It's the
Yeah.
fucking school shooter hat I've been seeing trending. I saw people sharing the picture of the hat saying it's the don't come to school tomorrow.
You know what it reminds me of? I have a friend who is really interested in like movie tie-in merchandise,
Uh-huh.
and he for like ever wanted a hat that came
Mhm.
out for War of the Worlds. It was very plain black hat that said War of the Worlds in very plain font.
Uh-huh.
And he just wanted it, and like this reminds me of it so much because it's just hat with logo,
Yeah.
but like it's a mesh baseball.
It's like a trucker hat almost.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's that weird mesh. Yeah, it's a disappointing hat.
I feel like it's perfect because it would fit the main character of the game so much so.
I want to see somebody wearing this hat out in public. Hold on, somebody posted this picture in response to it.
Oh god.
It's a
I love it.
raccoon wearing the hat.
It's Rigby from
it's Rigby
Regular
from
Show.
Yeah, it's not just a raccoon.
Oh, okay.
It's the.
Have you
raccoon.
never seen Regular Show?
No, I've never
Oh,
heard
it's
of it before.
a good show.
It's good.
Wait, didn't you see the? Hold on.
Yeah, see.
Didn't you see his other show? I thought you saw his other show. So I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. Did you see his show he made after Regular Show, but not Regular Show?
What's the other show?
Irregular
Show?
Close enough, I think.
Nope, I don't know what that is either.
Wait, maybe that's not it. No, Close Enough is it. Okay.
Yeah, nope, never heard of that one either.
Okay.
I mean, I did watch Too Many Cooks again the other day.
Like the skit thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's Cartoon Network too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically they're like cousins.
Sure.
Yeah. This is like Snarf's cousin.
Okay.
As you can tell.
I would say like a cousin to Regular Show would be Close Enough, and that's why I thought you'd watch that, and I got really confused why you'd seen Close Enough, but not this.
Oh yeah, nope, I never heard either of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a very good cartoon. It's very funny, and it's very inventive and different. I would highly recommend watching it if you ever have a chance. And it is, I believe, on HBO Max, and so is Close Enough. So
Okay.
and they're both worth watching.
Okay.
Like the
All right.
tagline for Regular Show is Regular Show, it's anything but, and that's like the perfect tagline for Regular Show. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, they start out doing something regular, but then what the fuck am I watching now? And that's kind of most the episodes. And the way you get from point A to point fucking G, and then all the way back to point B, and then to Z, and then to the letter Q, is like...
So it's like doing a podcast with Brandon.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
But what you're gonna say? It's like doing.
Well, no, I mean it's just very inventive. It's really entertaining.
Yeah. All right. Maybe if I see it pop up, I'll watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have the HBO.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I literally can't figure out anything else to say. I'm trying, but I can't figure anything else.
I mean, we're good. You were going to say something about Dead Space, and I'm assuming.
Oh yeah,
Dead Space
so
is pushed back to next year, but
no. So they've been showing videos of Dead Space over the last few days, and it really does look like they pulled a Konami, where they brightened everything up with the HD textures and everything, and completely ruined the atmosphere of the game. Nick, have you seen it at all?
I saw the video you commented on. I haven't seen like the full presentation that happened the other day.
Okay, so like
here's...
Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, are you sure it's not just like maybe brighter for the presentation?
No, it doesn't seem like it. Like I have a bad feeling that like what we think is we're getting a remake of Dead Space, and we are, but we're getting it remade to be a lot more like Dead Space 3. And that worries me. Because it's just too fucking bright. Like when you pull out your flashlight and it like illuminates a little bit more, and like it was already enough illumination that you could see the bad things there and about, and it's just like I don't like it.
You know what my thing? Oh, you could say what you're gonna say, Nick.
I'll wait till the final product to come out. I have a feeling that like that might be as simple as just maybe adjusting the lighting settings when you actually go to play the game yourself.
Hmm.
But as far as like the general feel, I don't know. It still feels similar to me in some aspects. Like I I don't know. I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I like but I'm also not like blown away by it. But also we're 3 months into 2022, and this game isn't slated to come out till probably about a year from now.
Yeah.
So like, maybe the lighting system isn't completely done yet.
Yeah, obviously, I get
But
that. I'm just saying, like, it already has shades of something that, like, if this was the
well,
kind of thing they presented, this would not be.
my other
like
thing
that.
is that comparing it to Dead Space 3, I feel is not the best comparison, because what made Dead Space 3 bad
Oh, the
wasn't
microtransactions and
necessarily, well,
everything.
the
It was
microtransactions, but it wasn't
basically a Michael
necessarily
Bay film.
it wasn't necessarily the environments as much as it was changing the game from a survival horror to action shooter,
Mhm.
where every weapon used the same type of ammo, upgrades didn't matter,
Mhm.
ammo scarcity was non-existent, like you just could get ammo out the ass for things. Like it took, I think it was more derivative of the series because of those aspects over than just the lighting. So I don't know. I feel like maybe it's fine to be like cautious about this, because obviously, like, especially nowadays, games are, never usually what they seem to be. But I just feel like it's maybe not. It might be a little bit too early to make that judgment call.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too. I mean, my thoughts on like Dead Space and like just as the series, I guess as a whole, was like Dead Space was never, and this could be my nostalgia goggles.
Mhm.
So because it has been a few years since I played through them,
I have
but
played
like
this recently, so I can maybe help you out.
yeah, but Dead Space, I just don't remember it as a series where I was like, this is a game that was scary because it was like dark, like visually. Like I think a lot of it was just like the setting and just like the way that the necromorphs came about and different things. Like I don't necessarily like I mean obviously if they change it to be like all like rainbows and sunshine, like I don't know if that would necessarily like maybe that would have a big impact. But I mean I don't think this is like a big enough change that I'm just like I don't think it's gonna, I don't know. But Nick's right.
I'm not
Like
sitting
we'll
here
see.
saying that they straight up fucked it up immediately or anything. I'm just saying
No.
it looks like this is something that could be bad if they take like the wrong direction. And I feel like some of the lighting effects that they have going on, it's like it's done better graphically, but because of the fact that it's less what's the word I'm looking for, fuck, it's less
Atmospheric.
no, not even that. It's like they definitely made the graphics and the shadows and the lighting and everything more realistic, but because of that it kind of hinders the atmosphere. And I think it needed to be more artificial. But they're going with a straight up ray tracing lighting, this, that, and the other, and because it doesn't have that feeling of like the dark shadows and everything from the artificial shadows that they put in there, and you have like the real shadows from like ray tracing lighting or what have you that they are using in this engine, it's going to not have the same effect due to it being too realistic, and because light rays actually would bounce this way, and therefore the darkness and a lot of the atmosphere that we would have had from before isn't going to be there anymore, because that would have been an artificial atmosphere, whereas they're trying to make it a much more realistic atmosphere. And in doing so, they might actually cause some of that atmospheric tension that was in the original game to be sucked out of it, because they want to go for realism. And that's what I'm seeing because of the whole and we're doing this and we're trying to make this more realistic and da 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 da, and I'm just sitting here like, well, yeah, it's more realistic that the lighting is like bouncing off the floor and going up to the ceiling, this, that, and the other, but I kind of like the like zit, zit, like the light bulb that's off in the distance that's like blinking and everything, or like the underglow that you don't really understand why it's there, but it gives such a creepy atmosphere as you get closer to it and that sort of thing. But that's gone, at least from what they're showing with some of this early pre-production, because they're using actual ray trace lighting, not lightning, And the lighting is making it not as spooky because it is more realistic.
No,
If that makes any
I
sense.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I'll be interested to see. It's just, like I said, I think it's, I don't know. It's kind of the same thing I feel with like Resident Evil 4. Like Resident Evil 4, I don't ever like necessarily strike as like a very like dark game. Like,
oh yeah, Resident Evil 4 isn't.
Yeah, and it's like, but like it's what made Resident Evil and Dead Space scary to me is kind of just more like the panic of like, oh, where am I going to get this ammo? And there's tons of shit. Like I can hear the things, but I don't know where they are. It wasn't necessarily like a lighting thing. It was just like, oh shit, I'm being overwhelmed. Where the fuck am I going to go? Kind of thing.
I think comparing Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space is like a massive disservice and shows just how bad those goggles are, because like I remember like looking at Dead Space and being like, oh hell yes, finally a game that isn't Resident Evil 4, and that was like my initial thought when I saw that game.
Really? Like I think there's a lot more comparisons
100%.
there than you think. Because I mean, Resident Evil 4 really kind of like, you know, their big thing was like, oh, you can hit the zombies and know the different
Resident Evil
parts,
4 felt a lot more to me like Dead Space 3 did. Not with the like issues like with microtransactions and this, that, and the other, but the fact that Dead Space 3 felt like a lot more of an action adventure game than it did a, you know, survival horror game. And that's the same way I felt about Resident Evil 4. Granted, I like Resident Evil 4. I think it's a good game, but I think it set the genre back quite a bit. And I thought Dead Space was one of those first like breakthrough coming back for survival horror genre games. So like, yeah, I find it really weird that you compared Dead Space to Resident Evil 4.
A lot of it is because, I mean, clearly Dead Space took some nod from Resident Evil 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I don't disagree with you. You are right. Like, it definitely was more towards like going back to more of a survival horror kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying, I just don't think a lot of that is like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what it's like when it comes out. I mean, you're definitely making me more inclined to kind of play through the original again.
I definitely should.
Like,
I kind of want to do the same, to be completely honest, since I've
I
seen
don't
it.
know if you, I bought them all for Xbox One. What was it, like last summer? Or the summer
you also
before?
get them all because of Game Pass right now, I believe.
Well, I have them all. I own them all now, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. I just turn on my Xbox because they're on sale for like $2. So I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't I buy all of them? Mm-hmm. So yeah, because they're excellent games. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're great games.
Yeah.
I'd say except for like 3. And 3's not even that bad. 3's just...
No, 3's not that bad.
Something different.
3's a bad Dead Space game, but not a bad game.
Yes.
But 3's DLC is fucking amazing.
I really
want to play it. And I don't think
that.
either of you have played it, have you?
I have not. I really want to play it.
Because 3's DLC is probably like one of like the best small chunks of Dead Space that exists, but nobody's played it.
I mean, there is that Dead Space light gun game.
I mean, that's excellent too.
I haven't played that either. I really want to.
Yeah. No, I don't know. How did you not play it?
It was on Wii, and it came out.
It was on
later.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I never had a PlayStation Move during the PlayStation 3 time. I only had it when PlayStation 4 came out, when it was required for VR.
Extraction's fucking. Is it Extraction?
There's Extinction and no, not
one of them's a visual novel.
Yeah, well,
I don't
remember. Visual novel and one's a railgun game, and I think the visual novel is the one that came with Dead Space. No,
Dead Space 2 was the Wii.
Yeah,
Extraction is the Wii one. Yes.
Yeah,
and that is excellent. That's really great. I love it. It fucks with you. That it was great on the Wii. I mean, I think it plays better with the Wii controls, to be honest. But I mean, it works great with the Move too. So yeah, play your Dead Spaces.
Yeah,
I like the books too. Dead Space books were good. Which one's Ignition?
Ignition, I think, is the visual novel.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and the movies were good. I like those too. I love Dead Space. It's too bad that EA did it nasty, but maybe this is the start of something new.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully EA doesn't shit on it this time.
Oh, they already are. Yeah. This is like DOA.
Yeah. EA doing anything pretty much makes it DOA. Did you see the other day what they said about, like, okay, I don't care about their sports titles and everything, but did you see what they said about like FIFA the other day?
No.
So, like, people were talking about how, like, FIFA is kind of, like, on a downcline and everything, and this, that, and the other, and that it's not really that good, and then other people started pointing out, like, oh, yeah, well, so are other EA properties and whatnot, and, like, EA basically straight up said, FIFA is just a 4-letter word on a box, and then it's like, okay? Are you trying to say, like, you could just, like, replace FIFA with anything else? And like just continue, because I feel like brand recognition would not allow that to happen.
Oh no.
I mean, they keep on talking about it. We'll see what happens. I mean, it is kind of one of those weird things, like, if they drop it, would they still be able to make money? Maybe. But at the same time, too, it's like, I mean, I don't know. If EA takes the right spin on it, they'd probably be fine anyways, because it's, FIFA's a notoriously, like, corrupt company. Too.
Yeah, but like if they're just like, and here's our new football game, Kickies or some shit, it wouldn't fucking work. They can't just name it anything.
I hope they name it Kickies. Well, I mean, they could do like what? Like
this episode's name is Kickies.
It's always my goal to get the episode title out of my own mouth every episode.
It's either Kickies or be like, new from EA, Kickball. No, not that one.
The
other possible title I had for this episode was Don't Start Believing.
Of fucking course it was. But again, that's my fault because you misheard me, or I guess I fucking slurred my words because I sound like a fucking...
Well, you started, because you started to say not stop.
Yeah. Don't not stop. So don't start.
So I don't know. But
man, I'm so tired. I've been through so much shit. It's just I'm running on like 0 sleep, even though I get so much sleep, but then I have so much shit that is going on. It's just like,
I wish I got so much sleep, Brandon.
Yeah, I wish the sleep was actually good, Mike.
Me too, Brandon. Anyways, you guys ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. And if you want to reach out to us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, or you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
No.
Nick?
No.
All right. And with that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash of Penguin on Twitter or your favorite gaming console. Until next week, game on.
Game
on. I'm so sorry. I tried to hit the fucking mute button in time, and I just did not.
Oh, good.
I was wondering what the raw was about. Like, raw.
Attention. Just give it to me, I guess.
I thought you were going to try to, like, stop and be like, I've got something totally random to say to detour, because we need to do the whatever that TV show is you were talking about thing, because I already forgot the name of one of the skinny Tom Nook. So, with the glasses. You know which one I'm talking about.
And
the murder hat.
Skinny Tom Nook with glasses and a murder hat.
Yeah, it's in the general chat.
The fuck?
Oh.
Wait, you mean
Rigby?
Rigby? Wait a minute. That's truck boat. Truck boat. What was his name?
Truck boat.
What was his name? Nick.
In what?
In Rigby legally changed his name to like truck boat.
I don't remember.
Truck boat. Truck. Wait, what did Rigby change his name to? What
Trash boat.
Trash boat. There we go. Trash boat. Boat.
You know how I sound
There it
that
is.
little? I typed in Rigby change his name, and Google was like trash boat.
Yeah, trash boat. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
He legally paid to change his name to Trash Boat.
As more people should.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a really funny show because like that spirals into a whole bunch of shit because he renamed himself Trash Boat.
It says here, there's the newspaper. It says ignorant man changes name, trash boat.